Ange and the Ursa, it means that they have this idea against Mineski. We have to draft good lanes against them. We don't want to lose our lanes against them. Maybe this game, LGD is just going to do what they're accustomed to doing. We're not going to focus on lanes so much.
Straight up team fight?
Yeah, we're going to draft just good team fights so we can actually take fights all the time.
You know, they did draft those laning things, but Mineski actually came out ahead in the lanes in the last game too,
Yeah,
which was
I mean,
pretty surprising.
I was going to ask you about that because in the draft, it seemed like LGD looked like they wanted a team fight early on in the draft, didn't it?
Yeah, and then they just switched it.
Yeah.
They switched it completely. So maybe focusing more on one kind of thing from them. And we see the Wyvern banned out from Mineski this time, so they're definitely identifying that there could be a switch up from LGD's playstyle this time around.
Yep, that's Spirit from Mineski, no surprise.
So Yao is probably going to be Shaker or slash Sand King again. Opening picks, maybe Jakiro. Lich is available. Not sure if LGD wants to go for that now. Still a pretty good pick here in this scenario. Because it gives you the lane and the team fight. This is the two most important things in this series alone. Yep. You want to win the lane, you want to have good team fight. Because both teams really like to fight.
Yeah, Jams's Spirit is the first one on the board. Congrats to him, by the way, on 9k MMR.
Finally has got it. He's always like complaining.
Do you think they go Jakiro Shaker? Well, definitely Jakiro.
Probably.
I think they do go Jakiro here, yeah.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Paul.
Well, we assumed, you know, they're going to switch back up to their very comfortable team fight.
Yeah. Well, that's what we suggest.
Yeah.
As we headed in here, was that was, you know, I think they got sidelined in that first draft. They wanted to go that way and then got distracted somehow halfway through.
I don't think they got distracted though. I just think that they have a preparation before the game and they decided that against Mineski we want to have better lanes.
Team specific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this game we are kind of expecting them to just revert back to their usual style. So and they snatch up the Mirana.
Yeah. And we said this was going to be the most competitive hero that they would fight over, and it's turned out to be exactly
so
that.
The replacement we talk about is like Puck / Ember Spirit for Nana.
Yeah.
I think I kind of personally like the Puck for him the most. I think Puck and Mirana, these are the two best heroes for him.
I think Puck, the matchup as well versus the Mirana is incredibly difficult for Mirana because you just have such a base advantage on the Puck, and you have wave clear earlier with your orb,
you
low mana
trash
cost.
him in the lane, right? Puck
you really trash, yeah. It's a very hard matchup for Mirana.
Okay. Yeah, so far we've seen always mostly Mirana's been the losing end in the mid matchups mostly. But it's more like in the mid game, Mirana does a lot for your team.
Yeah.
Because you have like a semi-smoke with the Moonlight Shadow, and then you have like a long stun. There's a lot of things you can do for your team later.
For sure.
Mineski have been drafting really well this event, don't you think?
That's what we were saying, right? Like the two teams that
very
have been
smart.
The two teams that have been like drafting the smartest and kind of playing the smartest around stuff have made it here.
Yeah. Another team, I just feel like if they wanted the Puck, they would go, no, leave it till second phase. We'll get it second phase, and then it gets banned, and then they go, oh crap, now what do we do? And it kind of these guys. They're just like, no. We either want the Mirana or the Puck, and if they go Mirana, we take Puck. And
it's not as most played, right?
Absolutely, those are those two most played.
Mm.
And they're very direct about that. They're not worrying about counters at this point. We'll figure that out as we go through the draft.
Heavy team fight, and we also mentioned slightly in the last time, we were talking about Vision. I felt like in this game again, the last game we saw, Vision played a huge factor in it. The wards on the map placed by both teams were absurd. It was every single fight was placed under Vision, or taken under Vision.
Oh, okay. I can't see the van. I was trying to look at the van.
You're trying to see the third, but I can't see the third van either.
It was Nyx. I think the other hero that's really good against Puck is like Earthshaker. We talk about it a lot. Earthshaker, Jakiro, Mirana, pretty solid combination for LGD. Instant stun. I kind of expect either Earthshaker or Sand King. I don't think Yao is going to deviate too much. And I don't think he's going to play Kunkka this game because Kunkka's not so good against Puck. So we might see one of those heroes ban out, apart from the Nyx here. LGD removed the Lich previously. I mean, just a straight up hero that helps Mineski win the lanes. Might see some Bloodseekers maybe this game because they have been putting a lot of focus on the hero. So maybe one of the teams might actually play the hero here. Could be good.
LGD doesn't play it much though, right?
Doesn't?
Not too much as far as I remember, even looking at a lot of their past teams. They've played it a couple times, but not a crazy amount. I see it
not a big Bloodseeker team, to
yeah,
be
but
fair.
Bloodseeker is, I feel, a hero that gives you the laning phase, and he's also really good in team fight. With the silence and the rupture. Very good against, even like a hero like Mirana, he's very weak against Bloodseeker. They ban out the monkey. It took them so long to actually take that ban. So we actually might see some Broodmothers here. Because if you look at the sequence right now, Mineski has the 4th pick. So they could actually run a Brood, because LGD does not play Broodmother.
Nope.
This could be a dangerous situation here for LGD if they don't have good heroes against Brood.
But like you said, they'll probably grab Sand King, which is okay if you. But it's not.
It's a
but it's support. That's the difference.
Support.
Yeah.
No, but never mind. F5 plays it. If they, I think if they feel that they need to promote the Sand King to a core position, they probably can.
It's banned. They're looking for. They're looking for
Okay,
Broodmother.
I think Brood is coming.
Mineski's definitely looking for Brood.
Spider incoming, bro. So does LGD read this right now? Can they actually find solution? Can they get ready for this Brood pickup that's coming, because they can't pick the hero? I think they actually
can't.
I think they can't pick the hero.
They're going to
so
go back for the Shaker.
The Shaker,
Okay.
as we
that's the
said.
Shaker.
Shaker Jakira was the opener we thought they might do, but with the Mirana, it's still similar.
Because they want to snatch the hero.
Yeah.
They think that Mineski is going to want to pick the Mirana early as well. So, do they pick the Brood here, or they pick something like
if they're going to pick it, they're going to pick it 4 or 5, surely.
Yeah, they can't pick Clockwork anymore because there's Earth Spirit. Let's see what they go for. Silencer. So they go for that position 5.
Yeah.
Silencer
So they're trying to hide it right now.
With
Silencer
Earth
is
Spirit.
very good against Earthshaker because you break the combo with the global. He comes in with the Echo. You make sure you're out of the danger zone. You plop your global. You turn around and fight and kill them.
They have 2 jumping heroes as well, as you always mention.
The Brood is coming.
The Brood is definitely coming from Mineski.
coming.
Yeah.
The question is, do they feel like they can hide it until 5?
No.
Because they
I
can't.
think
I don't think
if
they
Brood
can.
is so strong last pick, I'm sure the opponent is going to ban it.
I think you have to. I think you have to pick it 4th as Mineski here.
Yeah. If you want it.
Yeah.
And they do want it, don't they?
I think so.
You can tell.
With the ban, I mean, with the Sand King ban, it's like these heroes don't really deal versus the Brood either.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, but who knows? They might go for something else still. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
But for LGD, they're looking for...
Some don't have FYs, probably.
FY, they might actually leave FY0 to last, though.
You think they'll take, what, like a Terrorblade here? They don't see the core matchup, though, for
Because
Ame yet.
no, because if they leave the FY hero to last, the Earthshaker can be their offlane and they pick another.
I was going to say, he's played the Shaker, so... One of his...
Yeah, so they're going to leave his hero to last.
Yeah.
They
Good
just
call.
pick. This is a very good matchup for the Puck. Against the Puck. Puck doesn't want to... That is the last hero. Puck wants to play against. Like,
Yeah.
You definitely
That's not nice.
So that'll be Ame playing the Mirana, another hero that he doesn't...
Okay, I think what's going to
so
happen here,
often,
if
though.
they pick the Brood is they're going to lane the Brood against the Viper, and Puck is going to go somewhere else. They're definitely going to avoid the Puck against Viper matchup.
I think this makes them pick Broodmother even more, right? They see Viper, it's like the best. It's one of the greatest lanes.
Which you have to feel like LGD have to see coming, and therefore have a plan.
They see it coming, but they hope it's not coming.
Here it is.
There it is! Yep.
GG.
Oh god.
2-0, let's all go home.
How do they salvage this? Okay, they can what?
Timber.
Timber or...
Timber or... So if they pick Timber, Mirana has to go offlane. I mean, there's Tide, Timber,
Yeah.
there's Axe,
Tide wasn't a particularly good
Legion,
answer last
Legion
time, was it?
Commander. I mean, I don't want to say they're pretty much screwed, but...
They're pretty much screwed.
They're in a rough place for sure right now.
Oh my god.
So they banned the Pugna
Yeah.
themselves.
I mean, they have last pick, so they have time to figure things out here. So on top of the Brood, you pick an AM, right? is that the, is that the plan?
Jesus.
So if they shut down the Brood, the AM is gonna farm. Maybe it's too greedy.
Maybe
They might
maybe
just
a
go
little
for
bit too much.
Yeah, they might just go for something like a Venge because they've been picking Venge with Brood a lot, and they have Puck. Yeah,
And they have Puck,
yeah, they're gonna pick Venge because they have Puck and Brood. Yeah, yeah.
The swap coil break.
Yeah, they're gonna pick Venge. Very likely. Okay,
They even banned the Timber.
There goes the Timber.
Oh, God. And
There's the
it's Venge.
Okay,
Oh my god.
That's disgusting.
How to
That's
play?
literally disgusting.
How to play? GG. Okay, so apart from Timber, so
Wow.
we mentioned
Tide.
X, LC, Tide, but those are not really good options
Nope.
for their composition. It deals with the lane, but it's not good with their composition. What do you do, Yanis?
I can't, dude. I don't know.
So the Brood is actually going to go mid, right?
They have
Yeah.
I think the Brood is
They can't
just-
match the Viper with the Puck, can they?
Okay, Underlord's
Underlord,
very
yeah.
good against Brood.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a mid Underlord. They need to get the lanes, right? So both teams have to smoke out a level and put wards and to see. So whoever has to TP first is going to have a very big disadvantage in the laning phase. And I think because Mineski, they have the Earth Spirit, so they can actually scout better early. So I think Mineski is going to know the lanes and they're going to gain an advantage from there. So,
so Moon is going to go on the puck.
Yep, he's going to
and
go.
Army's going to go on the Viper, so that's a rough lane. But
they're going to probably match the Brood wherever the Viper goes.
Yeah, that's why the scout.
Yeah, the scout
I think
needs to
Mineski is just going to straight up get the better lane matchup because they have Earth Spirit to scout.
I like their team fight as well, and it's a Broodmother pick. They've got Venge and Dream Coil. They've got Global Silence.
They do.
And it's a Brood.
It's pretty sick.
It's Mineski, for sure.
Is it?
Let's go.
Okay.
They already put it for you, Winter.
I guess that's it then. I guess we move on. Thanks, production. You've saved our analysts time and effort that they didn't need to expend because it was fairly obvious what they were going to pick. Mineski all the way. Is Brood about to take them to a championship title? Let's find out as we head back to our commentary team of Toby, One and Malini.
This game does seem to be in the proverbial bag for Mineski, at least as far as the panel goes, Malini. Can you give us a ray of hope for LGD?
They get 90 points? Oh, actually, they don't even get 90 because they have a stand-in.
Wow.
It's not looking good. Let's just put it that way. They don't have good ways to deal with the Broodmother.
It's harsh truth, bro.
Well, sometimes it's got to be real, man.
Hey, at least they made the grand final, right? That's the way we're doing it? Are we actually hitting the brutality of yesterday of like, well, good luck in the next tournament? But the game should never be won on draft, right? It's just difficult.
That's definitely not true.
It should never be.
Did you see the Drow game yesterday, dude? It's the most lopsided game we had, and that was one of the biggest draft out ones we've seen.
Execution still has to go.
Good job, Artur. You pressed precision aura. That execution was sick. Great stuff.
Just so everyone, like when I was casting with Fox for that game last night.
No, that's what Fox said, I think.
There was something Fierce said to me about 3 years ago. And I'm never ever going to forget it. He's just like, because I made some kind of joke about Arteezy when he went 0-7 in the first 10 minutes on Drow Ranger. And he's like, yeah, you know, Drow Ranger, I really don't care about the hero. Once he hits level 6 and has aura, I just want him to piss off into the jungle. Almost make it like it was in Warcraft 3 Dota with a 33% chance of actually getting a last hit on a creep. Just stay in the jungle and give me your aura. If you die, you've failed me as a hero. But if you stay alive, you've done the job. I don't catch. You can sit in Fountain. That's an even safer place to ensure it.
It was 30%.
Was it 30%?
I thought you liked the hero,
I thought it was a 1 in
dude.
3.
No, it's 10, 20, 30. I thought you liked Drow. I'm disappointed, Toby. You don't know every little thing about that hero.
Are you sure? I always remember it being 1 in 3.
Then how would it scale?
It didn't.
Okay, so heroes just had ultimate that didn't scale.
I remember. Okay, yeah, I don't remember that.
30% is not 1 in 3. It's close.
I just remember it being 30 and 1 in 3.
Australian maths right here.
Hey, yeah, you know me. Like in my early days of Dota 2, I remembered everything about Dota. Yeah, I really didn't. I was terrible at the game and didn't know anything. Not much changed, apart from the fact that Mineski, first blood's been spilled. They're looking for a gank up on top lane as well. That's why Jabs is hiding in the trees and Ninja Boogie is pulling the wave back up again, so they can wrap around. As far as the matchup goes, at least LGD got what they wanted. It's Underlord against the Broodmother.
Yeah, this is actually really good for them. That's the only matchup that you really, really need. But now they're going to do the old swap. And let's see. FY does not have a TP, nor does he have one on Chicken. So now it looks like Brood is going to head bottom versus the Viper, which is awful. Viper loses very few lanes, but Broodmother is one of the heroes that wins pretty handily versus Viper.
It seems to be almost impossible as well for Somnus to affect the lane. Like, he went Arrow first. The chance of getting through Ice's Spiderlings is almost impossible. I always love flagging Ice as one of the best scouters of the Broodmother, sending a Spiderling to every single corner of the world. You don't need Observer Wards on the off lane when you have Ice Brood.
Oh, how do you get a TP scroll? The heck? Oh, it's
they go on top.
Okay, that's good. So this is fine. But Ice did just walk bottom. So this means he can just TP back. Have fun.
That's exactly what he does too. Oh, this is just not nice. Fissure block up on top. Mushi trying to cut his way down. He'll get close towards Ninja Boogie. A quick silence onto Somnus. Mushi thinking about sticking around to get the extra bit of damage, and it may have just been enough. Marana will live. Stick charges will let her survive while the rest of the fight happens to the east. You've got QQQ on the run back out. A quick leap down. Somnus is moving over, but into the clutching arms of Mushi. Yao can do no more. He has no mana. Even though he's got 3 clarity pots there ready to trigger. That's not going to help him, and the musical chairs continues as FY has now returned to the mid lane against Ice.
Musical's good though. I think if everyone just keeps swapping, it ends up better for LGD because you're kind of shortening the laning phase because heroes are kind of just moving around, which is good. You know, you're not like actually laning if heroes are moving. So
they're doing it again.
That's fine.
Moon comes straight back to the mid.
You just don't want a hero to get completely run over in the lane, which is often what happens. Like, Viper just dies once with like an army of 20 broodlings. That 20 broodlings becomes 30, and then your tower is gone, and then you lose entire jungle. That is what you want to prevent at all costs. So make sure you have a TP scroll on Viper, like he does right now, in case Brood tries to die of him. Just don't lose your tower, and don't let him control your jungle. Broodmothers get out of hand if they can farm the jungle. If they can't farm the jungle, they're not as scary.
Well, here comes the walking once again. FY and Ame. Feels like a relay race.
Yeah, I guess this is also bad for the Viper because Viper's not able to capitalize on his really big strength, which is winning the lane.
Yeah, but Underlord's at least getting a lot more out of everything. Like it's Ame and Moon who are almost sacking themselves. Ame and Brood who are sacking themselves on the move. But then again, do you really sack a Brood? He can always catch up.
Yeah, but you still have to win the team fight. I'm still liking LGD's team fight a lot, though. They have so much AoE and disable. And
if they can get the sustain out from Underlord, then sure. Like, it could be wonderful for them.
He's not going to lose his lane. That's the one thing about Underlord. Like, he doesn't really lose that many one-on-one matchups, even against a tough matchup like Brood.
He has managed to block off Moon in the mid. Moon, he's holding on to the orb. Now he's going to use it. A quick little jaunt away to the tier 1. It's 30 seconds before you'll actually have the shrines up. Ice is kind of itching to use one of those as well.
Got kicked back by jabs.
Oh, nice up on top. Yeah, that kick back into the Mushi stun. One more attack from Mushi will do the job. And Jakiro, insanely tanky support hero, but still, Mineski have enough damage to kill him off. And jabs will go all the way back up to all the way home to regenerate.
Yeah, they're doing decently. Not amazingly well. Not what you would expect from a blowout Brood 4th pick, but they're getting there. I don't know if they're going to get to the point where they can team fight, though, is the problem.
You're still focusing on Mineski here when you're talking, right? Like,
yeah. Oh no. Well, LGD want a team fight, right? That's how you kind of crush.
But isn't that when you just dodge the team fight?
Yeah, exactly.
You go for the quick picks, global silence, stable control. Same with Dream Cult. So either you back out or you get the quick kill and move out, and then let Ice do the split push.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what your plan is going to be. They have a very good line.
LGD's going to force the issue. Fissure, arrow won't connect up on top. Mushi, not stunned for long enough from the fissure, so he could just walk around the arrow.
Dire has you scan or spirit just so he can get some wardage down, or perhaps even just wrap around. He used a scan like when he was coming up the cliff, making sure he wasn't going to run into anyone. But the supports were showing top.
We see a lot of this movement then. Thanks to that Observe Ward on top of the Ancients, if someone's moving back to farm, they'll see that. If any hero tries to gank up into the mid lane, that'll also be instantly noticed. That's harassment on top lane, not much more. It's Jabs who's now going to get some levels on this bottom lane. As Ice has continuously just moving back and forward, he can just go jungle now that he's got 3 points up in the spawn Spiderlings.
Yeah, he's a happy camper. So let's see, what's going well for LG? What build are they going to go for is kind of my question.
Oh, swap top lane, actually grabbing Somnus. ES is waiting for a gank, so this might actually work for them. He was sitting behind. Okay, no, it won't because he ends up TPing down. They have an Observer Ward sitting in the top lane, just looking for a good opportunity to throw a fissure out. But when Mineski initiated in with the VS swap,
he was still really quick with the leap. Normally you'd combo that with global silence, but not up yet.
yeah, still short. 4 and 3/4 worth of levels. And Jabs is able to pull the creep wave well underneath the tower. That's a level 2, almost 3 Jakiro, but level 1 liquid fire pushing. Yeah, that's not pushing.
So here we expect Mineski to get a lot of farm with the Brood shifting in between the jungle camps, and eventually we're going to be able to do Ancients, and he's going to have his Desert very quickly too. So, yeah,
so many spiders.
And LGD can't really put that much tower pressure out at all.
How do you tower hit until you have levels on the Jakiro?
Oh, that's pretty much it, I would say.
So get levels on Jakiro, priority number 1. Somnus, that Observer Ward, able to actually reveal that Ninja Boogie Mushi in the neighborhood. He does have swap available, so can get Ninja Boogie onto the other side, putting himself into harm's way. But with the silences, Mushi is being enabled. His stun's off cooldown, 2 seconds time, and Yao trying to control him in the meantime. Stun will fly, and FY, well, he'll actually come in thanks to the grab. He'll find 1 kill, looking for the second. FY will claim it. And the aggressive Dark Rift switches FY's lane, but this is when Mineski avoid, well, you had the fight, but you go for the push.
Brood, well,
that's money.
He killed Ame and is looking to get that tower. That was nice positioning by Ninja Boogie. Ninja Boogie has been dodging a lot of deaths as a position fight. He was in the trees and did not get hit by the Starstorm. If he had shown, he would have gotten hit by a double Starstorm. And that would have been a simple 1 for 0.
Jabs, rolling boulder down, needs to actually connect on the kick on QQQ. This will allow Mushi to 1, swap him into a bad position, 2, stun him up, and 3 is kill him. At what cost, however? Ame, with all that damage, thanks to the Viper Strike, it is still not enough. Mushi will survive, Jabs will go down.
Worth. Nice one, Jabs.
It stops the push. Jakiro still a level 4, level 2 on that liquid fire. So the tower push still doesn't come because of it. And that's why Jakiro was down there.
Puck's really hard to play in this lineup too. There's a lot of root with the Underlord, and then they have the Ice Path to potentially catch you out too. And there's an Earthshaker too. So you still kind of have to be worried about the Puck later on into the game. And they have good ways to kill the Broodmother army, the Spider army. Earthshaker, one of the best. Underlord, like you have to run away during the Firestorm too with your Broodlings. So
you saw LGD actually combo it before. They used the Firestorm, and then it was a leap into Starfall from Somnus. Got him a lot of money. Actually helped him to catch up to the Puck, but this won't help him. Dream Coil into swap, instantly snapping the Dream Coil. So no way Somnus can reply to that.
And then a silence to follow up.
Yeah.
So this is good, but maybe a little bit late for them, being able to block up 1 Ancient spawn for them. Ice is not even there anymore.
Still very good for the 2 cores of LGD. Both Underlord as well as Viper looking very nice on the net worth board.
Back-to-back smokes. FY in a lot of trouble. He does have a hood, but don't think it's going to be enough.
Now, all that money he had, it won't save him. He can't even trigger the Hood of Defiance.
Well, he also has no mitigation versus the Brood. A lot of times you'll see Crimson or Vanguard in a Crimson Guard versus a Brood, or else like you can't actually tell any Spiderlings on top of him, but it looks to be a ton. Those things hurt when you have a Dezo already 10 minutes in.
And then you add in the Vengeance Aura. Mushi actually fully leveled that one up, so he went a 1-2-4-1 on this Vengeful Spirit and going into Mask of Mana. So they're hitting really hard. All of Mineski when they're ready to push. With that plus 34%.
A little bit countered by Atrophy Aura, but not very much. So this is kind of how you expected lanes to shape out. I don't think anything's been super unusual about this early game. Brood is very, very scary though. And now this bottom tower is taken down so he can farm pretty much the entire bottom right corner of the map. But LGD, they're pushing. They're doing very well. They're pushing. They haven't gotten run over by the Brood yet. Like he's in the position to run them over, but hey, he hasn't run them over yet. But they're still very slow pushing towers. Poor QQQ in some lower levels.
I feel more sorry for Somnus. Somnus is meant to be like a powerful Mirana. He's getting zoned out by a support silencer who's managed to hit more levels than the Mirana has. So mid tower gets wrapping around the back, killing the expansion base with the Zerglings. That's what we're seeing from a Broodmother at the moment, while LGD, they will take that mid tier 1 tower, Arme with the last hit. But it's trade for trade. And LGD have to commit so much just to take that.
They also have no heroes that can do Ancients, which is going to hurt their efficiency in this mid game a lot. Like, their heroes are actually pretty terrible at taking out Ancients, and no one's really going to go lifesteal on their team too. So you have Mushi and you have Ice who can do Ancients in case this does erupt into a farm war. I say that like it's an eruption, but it's, you know, more just slowly declining into a farm war, which Mineski should win.
Do you ever feel like you're stacking too much when you go both Mask of Madness and having the insatiable hunger on the Brood?
Nope.
Nope. It's always good enough. FY?
It's not about the lifesteal, it's about the attack speed. You have tons of damage with hunger, and when you have a lot of damage, you want attack speed. So they complement each other quite well. And you also don't need to cast any spells.
Oh, they've jumped in. They've gone in on FY underneath the tower. TP support's on the way. He's trying to actually get himself out with the Dark Rift. Global Silence is there. Dark Rift will obviously still complete. As Puck, Moon, orbs himself away. The Dual Breath won't be able to connect. Arme has the Viper Strike, actually beating his attack, while the rest, oh yes, he Echo Slammed that. Yao tried to get the stun disabled to cancel the TPs out. Mineski forced all of LGD to come down, while Broodmother took the tier 2 tower at mid. I feel like I'm watching a magician show at the moment. It's smoke and mirrors.
I will say that Yao has not been playing particularly well on the 4 position. I think Victoria's been playing the 4 for quite a long time, so Yao probably not used to these sort of heroes as much as some of the position 5s, but I would say his play has been a little bit lackluster on the Sand King and the Earthshaker. But that's okay. They can still win. I mean, eventually they're not going to have any towers to take, and the high ground's like not particularly great, but Broodmother's going to be able to do Roche and pretty much every single camp on the map fairly soon, and LGD just don't have good ways to catch him. Like, they really need a blink on the Shaker if they want to ensure a kill on him, but Yao is farming out alone on bottom, but even that doesn't really feel particularly safe for him.
It really doesn't. And LGD don't know where to move either. Mineski are getting aggressive in towards the mid, rolling boulder forward as they're going in for the Mirana. Dream Coil kick. The silence didn't connect, but it won't matter. Mirana ends up having the alien kind of style. Million Spiderlings burst from the chest. A quick swap out. Ninja Boogie, more than happy to have this happen to him. That is a very high level silencer. Not intimidated at all by that Jakiro or Underlord, especially when more support is there. Moon, Orb is going to connect over on QQQ. Rift as well, both up at level 4, so heavy damage following into the Spiderlings. FY can at least get some money from the Firestorm, or can he? The Spiderlings go back into the web. They're protected. FY, however, I don't think there's any level of protection you can have against this. Arme will arrive. Jabs back in again. Moon, he got the Rift off with the Starfall. The Spiders are dying quickly, but then the Magnetize. It's just this slow, continuous tick. Broodmother, he has the regeneration, but no, not enough. Finally, the spree is ended by Somnus, and Mineski are actually giving a couple of kills over, but only a couple. Somnus looking for his third. The stun is there from Mushi. They don't really have a lot of mana to work with or detection. Moonlight Shadow will allow Somnus to escape. So Ice does fall, the #1 hero on the map at the moment, which actually ends up in a slightly even team fight as far as Golden Experience go.
Yeah, they got a lot of Broodlings in the way. Ice had to end up feeding a lot of his Broodlings to tank the tower, but the Underlord is like super tanky, and the Viper that are very, very difficult to take down. Imagine if they have Crimson on them right now. Oh my god, that would actually been a crush fight for them.
Well, we can come back to the real world as, well, that snap from Dream Coil will end up killing Yao.
No, the Blink Dagger.
Yeah, it's up. And he's still got more money. You also now have Phase Boots over on the Broodmother. That's going to be one very fast, like 550 movement speed Brood. And that's without phase.
At least it killed Brood. Solar Crest, pretty nice.
You're clutching onto something happy here.
I am saying it's not that bad though. Like I actually expected this game to go much worse for LGD, but they're bringing the fight to Mineski. They're not giving hugely unnecessary kills, and they're very close at a Blink Dagger and Shaker. So things are starting to shape up a little bit for them. Mirana has been dying a lot though. Maybe he's been playing very well in this tournament, but this has not been his Mirana game.
It really hasn't. Moon's having another crack at him. Not enough mana for Dream Call. Actually, he had mana. It was on cooldown. But this all helps Omnis. He now has a Maelstrom. Any kind of increase to his damage. He came pretty close to getting himself like a proper triple kill in that top lane fight.
Close. He almost got an Earth Spirit.
Hey, there's your Blink Dagger as well on Yao. As long as Yao can keep the control up, Mirana can jump in, you're going to have that bonus damage.
Yeah, now he has to worry about who he wants to kill, though. Does he want to kill the Brood, or does he want to kill... Like, the Brood is really enticing because you get a ton of gold because all the Broodlings around her, but it's also one of the hardest heroes to catch because you're invis and you're very, very fast. So he has to kind of risk or weigh the risk-reward.
That's why they're getting both dust as well as smoke. Yeah. Let the smoke break, jump into the instant initiation, dust up, so there's a follow into a kill.
And Puck's also very difficult to kill too. Earthshaker actually didn't use the smoke, so that's great. But Reiner as a reward, oh, he has Blink, great.
Everything is revealed. Let me send... Oh no, they sentry to check the hillside.
Yeah.
Like if they actually smoke on top of this, I'm gonna be really, really sad. Like, oh, they smoked on top of it.
I don't know if they saw it, but
QQQ was visible.
He was
Mineski
in the
don't care.
line.
They're initiating themselves. The Dream Call timing not exactly right, but global silence. There's no way for the Underlord to reply apart from the invis. They didn't see him clearly, but they'll finally get the kill. Ice Path into the silencer. Broodlings. Oh, they're looking to chase down somebody. Right now it's the Earth Spirit and a little bit too deep. Rolling Boulder over, trying to help out. It's a 1-for-2 trade-off. Make that 3 in favor of Mineski.
Poor Yao. He revealed his invis Blink Dagger positioning to fissure an Earth Spirit.
Yeah.
But Mineski were all very spread out. So a lot of that has to do with the Blink Dagger show due to the Observer Ward. Not sure who placed it. But yeah, they were like, even if you were to blink an Echo, he wouldn't have gotten anyone important.
Yeah.
Or if he would have, it would have just been one hero. And
Mineski would just perfectly split for it. But hey, on the bright side, he still has the Blink Echo. But on the downside, Mineski just killed Roshan so quickly. LGD arrived just to see the carcass.
On plus side, he wasn't able to use the spell.
Magical Spirit, no, push him away. It's the kick from Jabs, buying space for Mushi to survive. LGD have 5 heroes here. They wanted to stop Roshan. They can't get that. They find Mushi, and they can't even get him.
Yeah, really.
This ES has his own Blink Dagger.
He's one of the better Vengeance out there. Mushi, I really like his swap usage, both defensively and offensively.
I also want to give massive props to Jabs, the man who just saved him. He's had a fantastic performance throughout this entire tournament.
That was more flashy, though. I mean, Venge had ages. They could have easily taken that fight.
Yeah.
But, you know, yeah.
Instead, they're grouping up for another moment.
It's demoralizing that LGD can't kill anyone. They're probably really frustrated right
here's
now.
your jump forward with the stun. They're going to get the kill on Mushi. Yes! But it's Aegis the Immortal. And let's see if they can get out. There's 2 people caught inside the Dream Call. They want more. Yao, he's so low. They're going to swap him back in. At least he gets his Echo Slam off. Ability is used. R is button mashed. And now it's FY trying to escape Dark Rift in time. Barely in time. He'll get home. But is this really your home? I'm fairly certain Mineski are about to seize your property.
Yeah, their home is going to be covered in webs.
Eviction notice.
Get out of Ice's house.
Oh, this is Halloween, right? Like,
this is as scary as it gets. Last game, or 1 game away from elimination, and then you get brooded, and you don't have good heroes.
Yeah.
Because you're scared of the Monkey King. Yeah.
Hey, at least you didn't get drode.
Well, at least it would have been more swift. And more painful.
Mineski doesn't really have that greatest way of just ripping your team apart. But at the moment, LGD, like you said to yourself, they were looking for the fight. That's why I'm like, I keep having flashbacks that fight on bottom lane that Mineski were just able to bail from. It's like they're saying, you can fight us, LGD. Come at us, and then you just bail out and find a better trade-off on a split push. So how do you even stop this? And now how do you stop it when the BKB is flying out as well? I believe it's Broodmother's BKB.
You smoke gank the Brood like 3 times in a row and get tons and tons of gold. Like if they, I think every time they smoke gank the Brood, they'd probably get like 2,000 gold as a team, especially if he echoes the spiders. But I don't think that's gonna happen.
No. And with his BKB, if Ice's timing is right, then he's going to get that BKB off before you can reply.
Oh, that's what Earthshaker's really good at, stopping BKBs.
Oh, the vision from LGD. They don't even see people outside their base. There's 4 heroes grouping up around their tier 3 tower on bottom. And no one's here from LGD. They're all up on top trying to take a tier 1 up there. ES is coming. Echo Slam, however, it's on cooldown. So he can fidget some spiders. That's money right there. Or you can Rift in Hellfire. That'll work too. Only 20-second cooldown. And then TPs, they're moving elsewhere. Somnus, very wise time to get out of here. It's taking forever on the TP, but Mushi just didn't have the vision. That nighttime restriction. If that was daytime, Somnus was toast.
Agreed.
He TP'd in vision of the lane too. Like, he's only just down far enough.
Earth Spirit going for Aether Lens. Interesting.
Really? What exactly, like what else would you go apart from Aether Lens? Like, what's the perks of an Aether Lens over something else?
Well, usually people go, what, Yules? I think you can go Pipe this game, too. Pipe's pretty darn good. You're not up against farmed heroes, but, well, one benefit of Aether Lens is you can kick people out from the fountain from a better range. It's pretty nice. They'll get to that point soon.
It's really your competitive analysis of this item pickup is how do I fountain farm just that little bit better? Oh, LGD. They're still in this game and they haven't GG'd out, so they have some kind of plan, or at least some kind of mindset that will allow them to win this game. Or else they wouldn't be doing what they're doing. This is one way to do it. Farm up more spiderlings. Not exactly, I think the micro was right there from Ice to get that many over. He is bearing down on that diffusal blade.
Yeah, he's just ridiculously farmed.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think, like, what is in LGD's mind? Like, is it just we have Blink Echo? If we combine this up with a good Pit of Malice and Viper has some space in the fights, is that enough? Is it all about the team fights again?
Yeah, it's just about getting a good Echo Slam before the BKBs come out. It's still possible. Extremely difficult with the silence, though, but still possible. If Ninja Boogies is in a good spot to global during the Echo combination from Earthshaker, then they're going to get the BKBs off, and then LG are going to get crushed in the fight. And I think that's very, very likely to happen.
It also seems rather difficult to initiate. I know this isn't going to be a support Vengeful Spirit swapping somebody out, but if you put Broodmother into the front lines, you initiate on him, and then it's a quick swap in. You can have 4 staffs, you can have other things, as you said, like the ES. He's got his kick available. You've got Yule Scepter on Puck as well, so Puck can jump in, remove somebody else from the fight.
He can still do like the quick, like if you're really good with Earthshaker, you can like blink Echo and then stun everyone behind so they can't save, so they can't force staff, so you can't global silence. But
you need vision for that.
You need vision for that, and you have to be really good with Shaker. And you have to kind of anticipate where everyone is in the fight. It's very difficult to pull off. But
Moonlight Shadow could help you get there, but while Puck's walking around with a gem, you have to hit the exact right line now. It's Mineski. They were prepping a gank up on top. Instead, they're going to have it around the Radiant Shrine. Already Jabs jumps in. They'll commit in to the global silence. Underlord just locked in position. A 2-man coil into the instant stun. It's just bringing Viper out of the fight, allowing them to focus onto FY. They want to take away his sustain and take away. They have done so. They go in for the double kill of Mushi, looking for the third Somnus. It's a point-blank range arrow, not enough on the stun time. 4 heroes down for LGD. You can buy back on the Viper. But the commitment of abilities, Mineski burned every ulti they had, and that was a very one-sided fight.
Maybe they thought they could take a fight around the shrine, but the shrine, I think, was used like before the real fight actually started. And with the BKB, like if you just preemptively pop your BKB as Mineski, there's really nothing wrong with that here. You can pop it like 3 seconds early before the fight, and you're pretty happy with that because all you need to do is prevent Earthshaker from getting a good echo off it when its BKB's pop. he pretty much just has to sit there for 10 seconds or however long it may be. So now, with FY's buyback down, with a lot of goals,
oh boy,
lead from Mineski.
Spider feed, spider feed. Does whatever a spider feed can. Tier 3 town's gone. Mushi caught by the ice path. Remember, they don't have a lot of their ultimates. Echo slam from Yao. Follow up Fidget catching the silencer. Arrow as well. It's under Mushi with a dream coil. Over on 3. The sustain is going to be there. Jabs will end up falling. Mushi in the trees. He'll go down 2. This is the fight that LGD were hoping, wishing, praying for. A couple of kills be worth so much, but the wishing and hoping it's just turned into an absolute nightmare. They just got dumped. Unless Ninja Boogie wants to cash this arrow for them, which he does not oblige. LGD still 22,000 behind.
Ouch. A lot of buybacks coming out. Good echo coming out from Meow. Mushi did pop his BKB in that last fight, and he did not have it up for that one, so they were able to capitalize on that. Jebs tried to save it with that roll and the kick, but not enough. And that was with Brood not really there at the start of the fight.
You can see it again. So it all starts with Mushi being initiated on a Nyao. Holds him there and keeps the silencer out of play.
I mean, you could tell that they're just, you know, they're very, very comfortable with this game. If they really wanted to, they could wait for next Roche, or they could wait for Global Silence so that Mushi has even less chance of dying, or wait for his BKB cooldown. There's so many things that they could have done, but they're just so comfortable. It's like it would take so many fights for them to end up throwing Ice, brooding them in the back.
Should be a very happy man at the moment.
Yeah.
But they still need to close out the game. We've seen teams before get cocky, think they're going to be good, then catch a 5-second arrow, and things go horribly, horribly wrong.
Possible.
Possible. There's a lot of things that have to go wrong in this game. But
yeah, Aetherland. Let's see it. You can blink further, I guess. He doesn't have enough money for it yet.
No. He's also like sitting on a cliff waiting for someone to walk over.
Yeah, just trying to pop smokes just in case they're trying to do anything funny.
They're actually scanning closer towards the secret shop, wondering if someone's going to hit it. Mirana, just a little bit off the scan area. Almost finished up the Mandasal. At least then she'll have something to break her free of these mass silencers that Mineski are throwing at her. Even BKB, the next item choice here for Viper, has the Hurricane Pike. So can play the distance game. But that's if you can survive long enough. You're now getting more and more burst damage arriving from Mineski. That's a level 3 Dagon on the puck.
Hey, team start dewarding it, Toby. That spot.
Yay! It's Mineski, and they threw down 2 wards for it. They get rid of one of the sentries. Roshan's already gone once more. Mushi, the one with both Aegis and Cheese, and the Moonlight Shadow from LGD. They want to find one person out of position, and the Pit of Malice will help with it. Put the Yule Scepter, the jump in as well. It's a double kick, holding him in position. Jabs creates the space, but then the arrow on Moon. He's in trouble, and Mushi trapped inside that Pit of Malice. Maybe it doesn't actually help him. He BKBs out. They're just punching LGD out. And it's almost a TKO. Mineski now coming down the mid. Still with Aegis, still with Cheese. And they will definitely claim at least one lane of racks here. And in fact, they just claimed the tournament. GG is called from Meow. Mineski, insanely solid performance, will win the PGL Open here in Bucharest.
Very well deserved. Super scary having a Broodmother player like that on your team, though. It makes the draft much, much simpler from the captain's position, and you know, they have to feel very comfortable going to future tournaments with that up their sleeve, and let that be a lesson to you, other teams, to, you know, if you're not going to ban the Brood, at least always be prepared for it with at least 2 picks.
It does feel like this whole tournament is like, it's been the 5th pick. It's always been like that 5th pick where you're like, okay, well, how the hell do I deal with this? And Mineski is just, they've had that down pat, and they've executed it beautifully. You go through their entire lineup, and from, like, you can always obviously highlight the Monkey King. You can highlight a lot of the heroes that Ice has played in the off lane. Mushi's been very stable with his performance, but the support heroes also been really on the money. Ninja Boogie and Jabs, especially Jabs for me, has just been a real nuisance to every single team. Their rotations have been on point. Moon's been solid in the mid. Overall, just as a great team, they look very synergized.
Yeah, I think everyone on their team has had at least one like really, really good game where you could call them the MVP. So, I mean, Ninja Boogie probably the one that's been hailed the least just because he's position 5, but his silencer play and his timing for his global silencers have just won them a lot of team fights and allows the team to play the way they do. But they should feel very happy. We're getting close to the tail end of the patch. There will be, what, one more tournament on this patch, but still we have interesting drafts. So that's great. That's a good thing. I love this.
Yeah, I love it for them in the future is the fact that they've got a team synergy working. They can actually work with the new patch, and you always know ISS is going to find something to break in the patch. But that's going to be for the next tournament. This one, it belongs to Mineski, and we'll come back to wrap everything up in just a bit with Paul and the boys.
Get the alpha, be the alpha.
Congratulations to Mineski. They are the champions of the PGL Open Bucharest. They have managed to win a tournament this weekend as opposed to being runners-up. So, what's that feel like? Let's find out as Ninja Boogie joins us from the player area. Well done, Mr. Mike Ross Jr. You've won.
Thanks.
How different does this feel this weekend compared to how disappointed you were last weekend?
I mean, last weekend was really a disappointment. You know, we're against Liquid. You know, it's a learning experience, and I think we put up a good fight. And we just came here and thought, you know, try our best, and apparently it's good enough to win this tournament.
You've played very well this tournament. We've been super impressed with your play. Talk to me about your journey as well through Dota 2. It's been 5 years and 6 months since you joined Duskbin, having transferred over from Heroes of Newerth into Dota 2. This is the biggest tournament you've won in your career, and it seems to have taken quite a long time. It must have been worth the wait, though.
Yeah, you know, you need to find the right pair of teammates, and apparently I found the right one.
You definitely found some good ones there, that's for sure. Winter, alongside, I'm sure you've got some questions as well as Fog.
Buy wards and wing, Mike.
Yeah.
Just buy wards.
That's
what he told me.
press that R button, you know, global silent. Wins game.
Yeah, I was literally going to ask him. I was just going to be like, do you usually decide just for the warding game, or do your teammates help you decide where to ward and stuff? Because I feel like you're really good at claiming vision advantage in your games.
Well, in the team communication, there's a lot of like info that everyone's giving out, and I try to figure out how the team wants to play and where do we want to play, and try to think about where the opponents are playing. And I just, at the end of the day, it's just like my instincts and gut feelings, and yeah.
I'm surprised that Fogged hasn't asked you about how does it feel for NA Dota. He seems to be claiming you back somehow. I don't know how that works.
What? That's literally just Paul's. I'm actually leaving him.
Fogged is done. He's out of here. So what next then for Mineski, Mike? What do you do next? Do you go back? Do you train harder? Do you to get into some of the majors? What's the plan?
Not really sure. All I know is we're leaving in a few days, you know, and then have a few days break, and I think we're going off to Manila, play ROG, like a small tournament, and see from there.
Okay, well, enjoy your win this weekend. Give our congrats to all of the fellow players and all the organisation staff at Mineski. We know you've got a big team behind you as well, so well done and congratulations.
Thank you.
There we go then. Ninja Boogie and his teammates are the champions. Mineski finally winning this weekend after frustrating defeat against Team Liquid last weekend in the best of 5, of course. This time they didn't need it, did they? And a brood pick, Winter. It kind of had the feeling that it was written in the stars, didn't it?
Very good brood game. Musical lanes though, like I actually was quite surprised by how LGD, they were not far behind at all. After the laning phase, they did this like musical lanes.
They did, that was so fun to watch though, wasn't it? I mean, what's Daryl doing right now? He's going mid. No, he's going bot. No, he's going mid. No, he's going bot. He's going mid. And then they were swapping them around. Like at one point, I think he went bot, started farming. So I was like, oh, they actually are doing a lane swap. Okay. And then, so they said, LGD then said, well, all right, then we'll Underlord go bottom. So he did, and then Daryl TP's to mid.
Instant TP.
Instant TP. You're like, oh, what's going on? And then they switched the Viper to mid. It was crazy, wasn't it?
They wanted to get the best matchup possible,
yeah.
But it was definitely like an incredibly good Broodmother game. But besides that, I think his supports, Jabs, played incredibly well this game. He was setting up kills everywhere. Ninja Boogie as well with his silences and his overall silence play, playing very aggressive. They just got they got the lane matchups they were kind of going for, but I was really impressed just with their play too. It was a Broodmother, but they played very impeccable.
Didn't they? Yeah, still had to do the right things the right way. Who stood out for you, not just in this game but the tournament for these guys?
Jabs.
Captaining and playing well.
Yeah.
Very impressive for...
Hasn't had a bad game, has he? All tournament doesn't feel like. Winter's casting back into his very critical archives right now.
Did he have one? He had one rough Earthshaker game, I think I remember.
Oh, yeah. That's the only game.
I think that was the only game he played poorly, because he had incredibly good Clockwork performances. His Earthsparent performances were all top-notch. Yeah, very impressive coming out from them, though. And their teamwork, their synergy. We saw it multiple times this tournament. The swap into arrows in the other games. This game, the swap coils instantly over and over again. See it right there on the screen. They just had very high execution.
I think the other thing, Winter, in this as well, several games that they've had very good decision making, haven't they? In game, like, you know, target itemization. For instance, like this is the person we're going on right now, and it's worked.
There was one game where I felt like they had a bad decision making. The game against Immortals, the first game that they lost. I think that was the only game that I felt their teamwork was really off. But apart from that, everything, every other game was really, really good.
That's not too bad, is it? 1 out of 9 games.
Immortals can do that to you anyway, right? They throw you off your entire game. They're just running at you at times, and you're just like, oh god, we're panicking. We're playing at the defensive, so like, that can happen for sure. But I was very impressed by their support performances in general. These two guys really stepped it up for me.
It's also sent a signal, isn't it, to the rest of the Dota 2 world? Take us seriously. Otherwise, you know, we can cause some trouble here, and we can win tournaments.
See Dota, see Dota.
Yeah, dangerous Dota.
Having a Broodmother / Monkey King / Visage and Timbersaw guy always really helps.
All they need now is a Meepo guy. And I
love seeing that.
Lots of trouble.
Daryl just messing with the LGD guys a little bit.
Yeah, I think they knew, didn't they, that game 2, that it was going to be a struggle for them.
For sure. We saw, I think that was, I haven't seen maybe struggle like that in a very long, or Somnus in a very long time. He was running around, he didn't have like a position in the lanes because he was trying to go top, and he got killed like once or twice, and then he was kind of roaming around as this Mirana when he's the core, and he was just super difficult for him. I don't see him have those type of games.
Yeah, but still, like, they were like 1K behind.
They were only 1K behind, yeah.
From the laning phase. That was actually really, really impressive from LGD.
Yeah, it was, yeah. You can see it here on the graph. It does tail off towards the end, of course, as we would have expected. But, nevertheless, Mineski winning this second game. Words about LGD, because they have played well in this tournament. They got better and better. They had a rough start on the first day, obviously, in that first series against Infamous, which was probably the roughest they played all week. But they did get better and better, and they just fell short at the last to a decent team. Overall, though, that's a decent performance with the stand-in. I know it's their coach, but it's a stand-in nevertheless. It does throw you off a little bit. They've got to be happy with that, haven't they?
Yeah, with the stand-in, for sure. Obviously, at the end of the day, you're going to still be disappointed for not winning. Everyone wants to win.
Sure.
But in reality, getting second place with a stand-in is really, really good.
And it's a long season. I mean, we've got a long way to go, right? So 9 months down the road, does this team kind of make you think if they stay together and then they get Victoria back, that presumably makes them stronger, and that puts this performance into perspective, doesn't it? Actually, they could be quite a scary team going forward.
I think that's one of the big things they were lacking. Like Yao playing the 4 instead of Victoria. Victoria's rotations are usually very on point. We saw Yao definitely having some troubled games.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at the final standings. Confirm for you exactly how the PGL Open in Bucharest has concluded. First place and $130,000 goes to Mineski, but more importantly perhaps for them, an extra 150 points in the bag per man. Of course, in the DPC, you'll also notice that only the first 3 highest point scorers count towards their overall score to decide where they are in the table, and they currently sit at the very top of the table after 2 minors. We've got the majors next, of course. Second, LGD, 65,090 points, and then that third, fourth, Immortals and EG, sharing the points and sharing the cash as well. A little bit of cash for the players that finished in 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. Disappointing performances at the bottom, I guess. You'd probably put Na'Vi in there, wouldn't you?
And Secret. I mean, even though Secret is 5th and 6th, I think that after their qualifier performances, people were expecting them to be rising toward the top.
At least top 4.
Top 4, yeah.
Would have been the minimum they would have been expecting.
They were really impressive during Starladder as well.
They were.
I had high hopes for them this event.
How do you frame Immortals?
I think they're a very strong team.
Top 4, I mean, good performance, solid performance, but there were some spectacularly good performances and some pretty spectacularly bad performances in there. They need to kind of narrow that gap a little bit, don't they?
That's what we talk about with them all the time, though, right? They have their very high ceilings and their very, very low lows. They just need to get it a little bit more together, fix their drafting some of the times.
Can you actually narrow that down? I think that's their identity.
Is it the DNA?
That's how they play. It's sometimes they beat anyone on a really good day, but some days they can lose to anyone.
You don't think they can remove that?
I'm not sure.
Or do you think if they try, they then actually take away some of their ceiling?
When you look at Kyo play, it's just like, that's just how he plays. You have to live with it if you're a support in his team. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Yeah, well, it's always Febby's fault if he dies anyway.
So he said.
Yeah, he told us that. We just have to go along with what he said. We can't, can't decide otherwise.
Can't blame Kyo. He's the guy who carries me.
Absolutely, yeah. No, got to support the carry by dying. Overall performances, though, I think we'd have to say we'd give it to Mineski anyway. They have been the best team here.
Yeah, definitely Mineski. I think, we said it, like Jab's standout performance in this tournament. And it's Starlighter. I thought he was incredibly good at Starlighter for them too. So he's just been up on the rise. And he just hit 9K as well, right?
Yep.
Well,
It's kind of like an MMR birthday for him, isn't it?
a little bit, right?
Yeah, 9K, wins a tournament. All is good in the world.
Feels good for Mineski.
Does indeed. Thank you very much, gents. It's been a pleasure, as always, working with you. And everyone that's been on the show, of course. It's fantastic for me personally to be back doing some Dota 2 as well. I have absolutely missed doing it. It's been a fantastic 4 days at the PGL Open Bucharest. But like all good things, it has come to an end. The last words, however, belong to one team and one team alone. They are the champions here in Bucharest. Well done, Mineski.